Hi, everybody. Welcome to FNS Wrestling Podcast, episode 309. I'm just going to swallow this rage down and get through this podcast because
forget about it in the next 2 hours.
For some reason, do 307 episodes of a show with a camera doing a certain thing, and then for the last 2 episodes...
I didn't point out because you were angry, but we haven't always had the camera on.
That is true. But it's using my phone as a camera. Yeah. But anyways, we figured it out together somehow, and
we did.
Now we just have to remember that's
moral of the story, Jack is the genius.
Yes. So we're going to talk about AEW Dynamite. We're going to talk about NXT, a little bit of Raw. Actually have some Raw stuff to discuss.
That's funny.
Trivia, news, the usual stuff, timestamps to move to whatever you want. So we're recording this a bit early because I'm getting up early tomorrow morning to travel to Montreal with the new car. Your brother has a basketball tournament going on in Montreal, so that'll be fun.
We were saying how it would have been perfect because last couple of years, this was the week you went to Montreal the weekend of my birthday, right?
Correct.
And then the weekend of my birthday, we have AEW's Montreal pay-per-view this year. So imagine that it had worked out that way.
It's about a 6-hour drive, I think, so that'll be interesting. And then
the new electric.
You're going to be home, in the new electric vehicle, so that'll be our first real road trip, having to plan to stop and charge for a little bit.
I still need to drive, though.
You're in charge of the house, and because we've got people coming in, because we got a new air conditioner and furnace put in, 3 days ago?
Yeah.
And 2 days ago? So it was really loud. Somehow louder than the 26-year-old furnace that they took out.
I only ever really noticed, I'm not gonna lie, when I was going to sleep. I was like, because I could hear it through my vent.
In the living room, it was very loud. Yes.
Yeah.
So we called them to come and check on it today. Service guy comes, and somehow on our furnace, which creates heat, as I'm sure you're aware, there's a big block of ice that has formed on it. So clearly there was a major botch installing it. So they just shut the whole system down because he's like, I can't do anything until this block of ice melts. So he just left and turned off the system. So we have no heat or air conditioning for the weekend.
Couldn't he just taken the ice off or melted it there?
I don't know.
Done anything that
maybe not, or maybe he's not looking to be the one to actually do the work. Who knows? But at this point, luckily the weather looks okay for you this weekend in terms of not too hot or cold. So just have windows open and do not turn on any. So they were here for 9 hours installing this furnace and air conditioner, and it worked for 2 days. And the air conditioner,
not even? Well, I guess it did work.
Air conditioner isn't working either. So I won't say the name of the company yet because I'll give them a chance to rectify this quickly. But man, it's quite frustrating. And then so that's what's going on here. And your brother had not his last exam, but he had an exam today, so we went out for brunch after that, so that was nice. Had some eggs Benny, got super full.
So nice. I'm glad you had a good day.
You're wondering what we're doing for dinner. You're out work. You're putting in a lot of hours these days. I like it.
It went by really quick today. It just was it got to a point where I had too many things going on.
It was busy? Sometimes busy makes it go quick.
It did, which is fine. I just need today to go by.
Because when I worked at one of the busier McDonald's there is in drive-thru, it went really fast.
I haven't eaten since I had McDonald's breakfast at before 10:30.
Well, that's dumb. You should have eaten before we came down here.
Well, no one ever credited me for my brains.
If you haven't seen it, we did finally put out the worst of 2025.
We remembered.
Halfway through 2026, so that's available on
we
YouTube.
said I think it was literally at the halfway point. Yeah. So it was the 14th. It's almost exactly at the halfway point of the year, which is kind of funny.
So it's on YouTube. It's on wherever you listen to podcasts. If you don't need to look at us, which I don't know why you would. Although please do, because I fought that camera for 20 minutes today. So
look at it. Look at us this week. Look at us this week.
We're hideous. It doesn't matter. You must look because I battled that camera for you. So if you don't normally look at us,
fan curve, we're not bad.
Pause the podcast wherever you're listening. Go onto YouTube and just appreciate the camera is actually working.
Yeah,
and go back. Give us a listen on every.
Appreciate
platform.
The camera and then go.
Anyways, I don't have much else to say.
No.
I'm just fuming at this point and trying to hide it. So do you want to get started? I guess. Or do you have anything to banter about? You never do.
That's foolish. First
segment every week. It's what we do. It's news and rumors. So TNA is losing some more talent, it looks like,
They're
right?
just bleeding out.
I lumped in a bunch of them. So Tessa Blanchard, gone.
That was the one I had, and I'll talk more about that one after.
Sami Callihan, gone. So I think he was producing or directing or something. And Tommy Dreamer, I forget. One of them was directing, one of them was producing.
Dreamer's on creative.
And they're the latest to leave. Tessa requested her release. It was granted.
Yeah, so I had it. It was Apparently, TNA didn't want her working for CMLL anymore, kind of made her choose. No doubt due to the fact that CMLL works with AEW. She prioritized CMLL due to them booking her more regularly. And my thing, too, is like her re-signing was pretty controversial given, her. And I think because of that, they were hesitant to really push her, even though I'm willing to bet they wanted to because, like, she is talented.
Talent-wise, she's elite.
Yeah. And so they were really hesitant to ever push her, use her super prominently in like even like the title scene because I feel like she was like teaming with Alicia Fox and like doing some
Alicia Fox.
I don't know. I imagine her working for an AEW affiliated company also didn't help her case, especially when WWE's partnership became heavier because she never even showed up in NXT despite her being like a second generation wrestler, which they love. So either one of those two factors or both because talent wise she should have been like on top.
And the official word from TNA is that it's, quote, workforce reduction designed to streamline operations and sharpen strategic focus. And the only word that I think is true, profitability. And related, I guess I'll just do it now. Ziggler was in an interview where he basically paraphrased, it was saying like, once they got the new TV deal, everyone was hyped and morale was really high. And then people start leaving. And then he even had like, quote, and then it's like, oh man, some people are leaving. What are we doing? I don't know exactly what's going on. And that's from like one of your key stars of the company at this point, right?
Yeah,
so
I agree.
TNA's doing TNA stuff, I guess.
TNA gonna TNA as always. Let's see. Oh yeah, the someone I thought was just funny was Jade Cargill's wig malfunction was edited out of the SmackDown replays on Netflix.
Of course.
I thought it was genuinely hilarious because I never even knew she wore a wig until I saw the clip of it coming off a bit, and she kind of strikes me as the person, now I'm just assuming, she strikes me as the kind of person to have that really bruise her ego or self-image, so I thought it was hilarious. Just with like how like, she's chiseled and like they present her as a star, so like anytime she gets a slip up like that, that's gotta really take a hit on the ego. And I mean, they can remove from the broadcast all they want, that's fine. I've seen the clip circulating around, I can easily find it if I need to.
Yes.
It does nothing.
It doesn't really change anything, no. And I told you I saw an interview with her where she was saying one of her biggest fears was having her wig fall off in a match.
That's great.
Which is funny. So they've announced, I think it's 14 of the 20 competitors for G1 coming up, which I try to be interested in. I never really end up watching much, but in theory, I like the idea. Ready? Have you seen any of this? A Block. Konosuke Takeshita. Heard of him?
No.
Third entry, third consecutive New Japan World TV Champ. 2025 winner of the G1, right?
Takeshita was, yeah.
Yes, and A Block Hiroki Goto,
18th
time in it, first time in a couple years, won it in 2008.
Yep.
Bolton Oleg, third consecutive time in.
Never watched him.
Strong openweight champion.
Sure.
Suji's in there too, fourth time consecutively being in it. He's the champion at the time.
I know they do it. I just don't like that the champion's in the tournament.
Yeah. But I think they just want all the biggest names they can, right?
It's fair. And I mean, like, what's he going to do for the month, I guess?
Right. Because everybody's... That's fair. Good point.
I guess it makes sense. It's just I never really liked it.
Shingo Takagi, 8th consecutive appearance in it. Jake Lee, second time, first in a couple years.
Cool.
Sonata, 11th consecutive.
Lame.
Great O'Khan, 6th consecutive. And then winner of either Taichi or Yudo Ice. I don't know who that is.
He's one of the Knockout Brothers. They just lost the tag title.
And then winner of B, which is ELP or Ryohei Oiwa.
TMDK guy.
Yeah. So B Block, Shota Umino, 4th consecutive. Yuya Uemura,
cool.
3rd time straight. Ren Narita, 4th consecutive. Drilla Maloney, 2nd consecutive. Cool. Sabre, 10th consecutive. Callum Newman, 3rd consecutive. Gabe Kidd, 4th. Hanare, 4th, first in 2 years.
Gross.
And then winner of a match between...
I like him.
Yeah, Yoshihashi and
Gross.
Oiwa.
What?
Again, it says? That's weird. And then winner in D, Oscar versus Takahashi. I don't know who Oscar is either.
The other Knockout Brother.
Oh, okay. So I always say I want to check out some matches. Like I would love to watch Takeshita stuff, obviously, and a few other people.
Oh, we did in 2024. I didn't watch Takeshita last year, and he won.
I'll follow it in terms of I know what's going on, but we'll see if I watch any matches this year. But that's who's in it.
I'm not even going to pretend like I'm going to. I might, but I probably won't.
There's been years where I've watched quite a bit. There's been years where I've watched next to none, and there's been years I've watched none. So it just depends.
Last year, I think
what
I
I'm
watched
doing.
none.
Your turn, sir. I got 2 more.
Going on New Japan, Newman dislocated his shoulder when he lost the IWGP Heavyweight title to Tsuji, so he's still being advertised for the G1, but he's undergoing an MRI, so we'll see how severe it is. And then I also wanted to just go over the title changes at Dominion, because there's a fair amount of them. First one was Tsuji beating Newman for the heavyweight title. I'm a little disappointed they didn't go further with the Newman experiment. It's possible it was an audible
sidetracked by the injury.
However, I'm not like fully confident in that, because I always assumed Newman would drop it back within the year anyways.
Yeah.
I just thought he'd maybe have a little more time.
Yeah.
Shota Umino finally won a singles title. He beat Andrade champion and Drill Maloney in a triple threat for the global title. I told you before this, he was 0-16-1 in title matches before this, I think is what I saw.
Wow.
So that's hilarious. I never cared about Shooter too much, so hopefully this gives him some sauce and becomes the guy they seem to want him to be. Check out Worst Stuff for thoughts on that Wrestle Kingdom match.
Mm-hmm.
I told you I think he's facing Pac at Forbidden Door.
And I texted back, if he can't have a good match against Pac, it's a nail in the coffin.
Yeah, he's done.
It's time to move on.
United Empire, which is Hanare and Great Khan, they beat the Knockout Brothers for the IWGP Heavyweight Tag titles. Hanare is kind of cool, but Khan's kind of lame to me.
You've never been a fan of Khan.
And then I've seen a lot of people disliking this call, because I heard all around good things about Knockout Brothers and their run revitalizing the belts.
I gotta look them up. I don't even know who they are.
So I've never watched their matches. They were like I think the last new guys to come into Bullet Club, and then Bullet Club's like dissolved now. So they might be part of that Unbound company. I'm not sure if they are or not. And then the last one was Yo beat Dookie to win the junior heavyweight title, because Yo just won Best of Super Juniors. He's 100th champion. It's his first run. I heard a lot of flack for Dookie's run, so I guess that's a good change. I don't know.
Which one's the big one? Yoda?
Oscar.
Oscar's the big one?
Yoda Ice is the Japanese one. Oscar's the Gaijin.
Cool.
But yeah, I heard good things about their work.
WWE has filed 2 new trademarks for Danhausen. It's human money's catchphrase. So he is a merch selling machine, and they are going to squeeze every dime out of him.
They're going to sell like fake dollars, and it's going to like the human monies. Yeah.
They may, again, overexpose him, but so far people seem to love him. So
I
that's
don't
good.
know how they're not, because the amount of stuff they don't tell them, like, it has to be.
And he's getting on mainstream stuff, which they love, right? So good for Danhausen.
It has to be overexposure. But
I'm glad he's successful and in a company that I don't watch, because he's not my cup of tea.
Yeah,
so
good for him, I guess.
if you like him, good for him. I got one more. That's it.
My last one was Jack Perry's AEW contract expiring soon. He's actively negotiating a new deal. I somewhat enjoy his solo work a little more than you, but I hope he sticks around just so we can get like the actual Jurassic Express return run I feel like we were supposed to get.
Well,
because Luchasaurus got injured, right?
He's not going to WWE. Like, Punk will have a hissy fit. So
yeah.
I don't think he has a lot of options.
And like, he's an original. I like him staying where he is.
He's fine.
You know what I mean?
He fills out the roster, as they say.
I like him.
I do not agree with many things that Undertaker could ever say in his life, but I did find something. He was on Booker T's podcast commenting critical of the overly scripted WWE in-ring style.
Yep.
And he had 2 complaints.
Isn't that kind of like hypocritical? Because he was big on that.
He says, the style gets you preparedness for sure, but it kind of loses its feel and it stops feeling like live programming. Fair.
I agree.
And then in addition, and this is true as well, when you do heavily script matches like this, like he's basically implying move by move kind of.
Oh, which makes sense.
When a mistake happens,
you're lost.
He used the like deer in the headlights moment, because they're not good at improvising anymore, because it's like, do this, do this, do this.
Well, that's why when you get a lot of good matches, like with, I think guys like when they were in the 2000s, like Guerrero and whatever, they could improv, or like when they did Taboo Tuesday one times, whatever, Benjamin and Jericho had a match they called completely on the fly, and you can have a really good match there, right? And I feel like it's like the good promos in AEW. I'm pretty sure it seems to be how it feels like how AEW does it. They bullet point it, right? Like
yes.
Big promos.
Here's an outline, and
like I'm willing to bet that's what Ospreay and Swerve did, which we'll talk about that later. And like I'm sure they're big matches too. You have the points you need to hit, and as long as you get there in a logical way and like fill out the match well, which guys like Ospreay, Swerve, Omega, Hangman, Fletcher, Takeshi, these guys, they know how to do. And so yeah, then it feels like it's actually, there's, if you script everything,
and I think Logan Paul does that because I
think so, which I can understand.
And there's been wrestlers in the past that do that.
Yes.
I think Randy Savage might have
probably
been one.
Cargill.
Well, you have to for her, I think.
Yes. But like, it's a lot easier to make it feel real and again suspend that disbelief if you're if at least it's not all pre-planned, right? Because I'm not saying completely scripted fights can't feel real or engaging, because that's how movies work, obviously.
Yes.
But when it's like that in front of an audience. I feel like wrestling's its own thing, right? So
Yeah.
to have it completely scripted, I think is always kind of a negative.
And he's not wrong. When things go wrong, sometimes there's like a bunch of awkwardness trying to get back onto the script.
Yeah,
right?
or like they have to like redo that spot just so that they're on track, or it's like, there's always a whole thing.
All right, that's it for news, right?
Moral of the news is you agreed with Undertaker.
I did agree with Undertaker on only that, quite possibly. Next, we'll move into our favorite thing to talk about every week, and there was some interesting stuff this week for sure. Some long matches, some long matches, long segments. Honestly, not saying good or bad. It's this
Maybe
week's
both
episode of AEW Dynamite. We did watch Dynamite live again this week, so we're back.
Kind of had to.
Yeah, we did. We're kind of on a timeline, so
we're kind of doing that regularly, anyways. I do think it's more fun when we.
It is more fun. I don't even mind it because commercials, we just get caught up on our notes, or I make.
Yeah, there's sometimes where I get tripped up a bit because I have to like kind of just go to the next thing.
Because you used to be like pause after each thing, and then you'd do your notes, and then we'd start again. But yeah, no, it's fun watching it live when we can for sure.
So, yeah, we kicked off with MJF and the Don Callis family interview thing. Where basically MJF's going to pick his team. He's glowing about the AEW World title. He's the best, yada, yada, yada. He talks about how multiple people have called him out. He says he talks to Knight directly and says he doesn't like him, but he respects him and what he's done is admirable because obviously he's a heel. And he also puts him over as the best young talent while eyeing Fletcher down.
I really like
was
that
really
bit.
Funny. He tells Swerve to swerve off a bridge. He tells Ospreay it's not 2024 anymore, and he'll break his neck at Wembley. He goes to mention Hangman, laughs about it, then talks to Omega saying they've wrestled twice and he's won twice and he'll never get his redemption. Seems like maybe some foreshadowing. That and then the Ospreay Omega interactions, like they're almost making me think we might not get Ospreay MJF. It could happen. Omega Ospreay is not impossible.
No,
I feel like. Anyways, so then he talks to Briscoe and says all the other guys he mentioned are top guys, unlike him, and everyone just feels bad for him because Jay died, but he feels bad for Mark for actually thinking he has a chance to win the title. He says he and Don have concocted the most dangerous team, and then Callis runs down the pick. It's Knight, Fletcher, Doyle, Okada, Andrade. Andrade looks surprised and displeased. He asks if MJF thinks he will join him, asks how you know. Everyone leaves. Callis and Andrade are talking. He says Andrade is the future world champion. He just has to get in line, but for now, do the match. I really like this to start things off because I thought MJF rattling off his potential challengers was pretty great. Even though I thought it was hurtful to me personally, I did think him mocking Hangman was pretty funny. And I thought again they did really good work with Andrade here. So I'm getting more excited for him to turn. I think it's just really cool to see Andrade and like done well.
Yes. Yeah, I know.
I guess
actually respecting his abilities.
Yeah, so I really like what they're doing with him, and I like that MJF. Like I liked him rattling off his challengers. Just like it was just a cool thing. I thought.
Yeah, great energy from MJF to start,
and also the Fletcher bit was also great.
Stare down of Fletcher as he compliments Knight. I really like
because it's weird. We just reestablished Fletcher as a heel, right? Because he's going against Takeshita, but we're also kind of again. I feel like we're just breadcrumbing very slightly. Eventually, he's going to be next. I think
so.
Andrade.
There's a lineup to have issues in that family for sure. Yeah. And it's just crazy that,
especially with Knight around,
somebody as talented on the mic as Callis is reduced to supporting role when MJF's on a roll, right?
It is interesting, yeah. But it makes sense.
No, it does. MJF took great shots at everybody coming for the title, so sort of reminds us of the title scene.
Yeah,
take
like
shots at all of them, building a bit of heat for each one of them.
Even Hangman, even that's like a little bit like, oh, maybe when he returns, we'll see. You know?
So I really like this too. A good start to the show.
Then we get Kenny Omega versus Tony Nese. There's not a lot here. Nese gets a leg sweep off a distraction from Sterling, goes for moonsault. Omega dodges it. Snapdragon, V-trigger, one-wing angel. It's over. He goes to speak. Sabre's music hits. He comes out with the TMDK boys. It's just him, Bad Dude Tito, and former, I forget what his NXT name was, but it was Nick Miller.
Right.
New Girl?
Right.
New Girl. But he's Mikey Nichols. I want to see Shane Hayes, but I think he's off in Noah being champion. Omega backs out of the ring, and then he's on the ring level ramp. Bucks and Perry come out to back him up. He says he didn't think Sabre would come all this way to challenge him, and says it would look great for Sabre to beat him here, but it would also look good for him to beat Sabre, not just for here, but for back in New Japan. Does his sign off. I figured the match was here to get Omega out there to face off with Sabre, and I like that we did that because I was almost like they're probably not going to do it.
Yeah.
I don't know. I almost thought they weren't going to, so I'm glad they did, because otherwise this would have been pointless. There wasn't much here. It's a simple build. You don't really need to do much to build this match. It's Omega and Sabre.
Yeah. And it was basically, hey, Kenny, go in there, hit all your signature stuff, win, and then we're gonna send out Sabre, and that's doesn't take a lot to get us interested in that match, anyways, right?
Yeah,
so really
you
simple.
just tell me the match. Like last week, you tell me the match. I'm like, oh, okay.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm in.
I'm already in,
Yeah.
so they don't have to do much.
We get a recap of the Dogs' recent win streak, and we're going to hear from them later on. Then we get Death Riders. It's Moxley and Garcia against Brodito. Just
Weird.
apropos of nothing. Now I see why, but it was still weird.
I even wrote that you were saying, like, well, this feels very random, right?
Like, sometimes we get kind of random stuff in that, man. I'm like, usually I don't question it because sometimes it's just building someone's momentum or whatever.
Yeah.
This one just felt odd because Moxley and Death Riders have kind of been occupied with Ospreay.
Mm-hmm.
And then Brodito haven't been teaming.
Yeah.
So that was odd. Because I was like, who are they gonna be facing? And then Brodito's Music Kid, I was really excited. I'm really happy to see them back.
Me too.
But it was just weird. I was disappointed Mox's team with Garcia. Really excited to see Brodito back. Now I wish he was teaming with Pac.
Yeah, I just said, why not Pac?
Since they took the loss, I guess it's fine.
Probably. That's why Dan Garcia was in there.
But like, would you rather see him or Yuta? Because either of them are gonna take the fall.
Yuta, probably.
I agree. I think. I don't know.
It's close.
It's close.
Neither one's super interesting to me.
I'd probably go Yuta, I think. I agree. Brodito do the Macarena. Garcia does his dance. He chops both of them to no effect, eats a double chop. Heavy strike exchange between Mox and King. King assists Bandito so you can have huge moonsault to the floor. Mox King strike exchange again. King goes for a pile driver. Dad drops a water bottle. Mox counters and hits a cutter. Then King comes back with the lariat. They're both down. Bandito overhead belly into the corner to Garcia. That was pretty solid. Spike pile driver to Brody. King on the floor from the Death Riders. Mox with a superplex to King for 2. Bandito hot tag flurry. He goes to suplex Mox. Garcia stops him. Goes to suplex Garcia. Or maybe it's the other way around. Shafir stops him. And then he suplexes Shafir, which got a great reaction.
It did.
Bandito frog splash to Garcia for 2. Mox breaks the pin with a curb stomp. King takes out Mox with a suicide dive, which makes the camera completely miss the 21 plex that Bandito hits for the win. So, yeah.
Really long, like 22 minutes. Really good tag match.
Was it
obviously.
actually, or is this just you like overestimating?
No, I'm pretty sure I looked today. There was a couple things like the barking contest with Shafir. I don't really need the Macarena.
That was whatever, yeah.
I don't really need, but it did feel random, but the action we got was
it was solid.
Great, right? Fun to see a Bandito hot tag. I thought he was kind of the highlight of this match for me. Bandito's the standout, and it was a really good tag match that felt random, but then we kind of get somewhere after, right?
Yeah, it definitely did feel random. I'm super happy to see Brodito back again because they're really fun to watch, but it was just so out of the blue, and it did go a little long, so it went through 2 commercial breaks, which was odd for such a random match. I don't think that was necessary, but it makes sense where we ended up going, why the match was here. And so yeah, Bandito got a good showing in. And then Mox and King had some really good exchanges. So this was a good one, but just a random one.
Mm-hmm.
So nothing wrong with it, just was kind of odd.
Agree.
Then we get Proto-Kata promo. Interesting. Fletcher says despite their involvement with MJF, they haven't forgotten about Takeshita, and they're going to bring back the international title back to the Don Callis family. Fletcher says they don't know who they're facing at Forbidden Door, but Okada says they know who it won't be because they beat up Ishii. This is solid, just taking Ishii out. And it makes sense now because the 2 people Briscoe picks, it's like, okay, it makes sense now why we needed 2 spots. But it's like, I don't know. It's whatever. I don't know if we need an explanation for it, but I guess because Ishii's in the conglomeration.
I guess that's why. And like, I complain about it all the time, so I'll do it here. They're giving away this match on TV. Like, same.
I did think that was really weird. Did I like the main event? I did.
And Proto-Kata are cool. And this is the other thing. It doesn't bother me, but like, so on the one hand, I completely understand that MJF is paying, so he's choosing the best guys. He doesn't. But on the other hand, I feel like guys like Fletcher and Okada should be like above being hired guns.
I agree, but
and even
maybe they just want to get paid.
I would like to say Andrade, but he's not quite at that level. But
you could make a case for him. I mean, to be fair, he's been paid off before.
So I agree. Like, and again, it could be that's one more thing that down the line these guys are annoyed at Callis about, like hiring them out.
But I mean, I guess because like they keep taking it. So.
I would just prefer like Fletcher and Okada don't feel like they're like hired goons. You know what I mean? But
I agree.
I get it.
because I don't like. I'm at the same time, I'm kind of okay with it.
Well, MJF's not going to pay for Rocky Romero and Trent,
Yes,
right? So
maybe MJF's just that rich, and they're like,
yeah,
it's kind of like Hurt Syndicate. They do the big money fight, so the Callis guys are like, might as well. And then
I guess,
and for some guys like Knight, it's like you can if you help the world champion, you can leverage that. So like I do kind of get it.
Yeah,
but I don't completely disagree with you either. Then we got Ciampa promo. He says he didn't always hate Jericho. He used to respect him when he was Lionheart, when he was doing whatever. He was in Japan. He was an AEW champion. Yada 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 yada. Blah, 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 blah. He says 2026 Chris Jericho is the guy he hates and every bit of him. He says if Jericho's gonna bring that guy around, then stay home. If Jericho thinks he still has it, that's mean on Collision. Much better than last week. I thought he sounded great. I agree with what he said. Still hate the feud.
Has a heel ever been more right? He's like, because I'm listening to it and I've told you a million times, Jericho at one point was my favorite wrestler. And he's like going on. And then he's like,
so sad now.
And now I can't stand you. Like, this isn't the version I want of you. So I completely agree with him. He was really intense here. Sounded great. And he did the chair thing at the end, which he used to do in NXT. I just wish it were directed at something interesting because he cuts a great, serious, intense promo. But the target is Jericho. So.
Yeah, that's the main thing. Like, he sounded good. And he did like he hit the chair away. He did his thing. And I was like, okay, great.
But it's Jericho. The payoff is not what we want. Like, the promo's great, but the payoff is not what we want.
Yeah, that was my thing. Is I did really like it. But you have to remember it's promos like you have to remember where you're going to. Like, it's where the end game is not.
No. He's get chafed at the end of the day.
He's getting chafed. Yeah, I hope he's like spreading his legs on the chair because he's got a chafe going on down there. The rhyme. That was a good line. I like that. We hear from the dogs next. They get ready to make their entrance. Connors has like a match and he's gonna threaten the production guy, but it's Copeland and they get attacked by him and Cage. Brawl spills in the ring. Eventually, the dogs bail. So then we get a promo from the old guys. Cage says,
great.
Yeah, Cage says that people are probably expecting him to say something about a family member. He says even he has standards and he's never come across a tag team named after their mothers.
That was
that was great. Cage says Finley's dad should let him run down the inside of his leg. Or did Copeland say that? Whatever.
No, that was Christian because that was filthy too.
Right. Copeland says the dogs have been on a win streak and they've been doing the 5-second post thing because they're them from 30 years ago. It's like, oh, I see me and you.
Is 30 years ago a flex? He should have said years ago.
I also
30
don't think
just makes me go, damn, you guys are old.
I'm also gonna take a nitpick with the specific timeline.
Yeah.
Because then he mentions how they thought they had it figured out. They faced guys like New Age Outlaws and APA. 30 years ago is 1996. So that's before either of them were in WWE. Now, if he's saying, oh, you're us before we figured things out, then I guess it's fair. But to me, because he mentioned Agile teams, maybe I'm just taking the wrong way. It's like, okay, he's saying you're us from 30 years ago because 30 years ago we didn't have it figured out. We weren't in WWE yet. So maybe the timeline's fine. I'm just saying maybe because then he mentioned Attitude Era teams. I'm like, that wasn't 30 years ago.
But not the Hardys or the Dudleys, which was interesting. I guess the Hardys are still employed by WWE, basically.
And Bubba Ray clearly gets paid off.
Right.
Coleman says that Forbidden Door, they'll use their old man strength and knowledge to make sure the dogs walk out housebroken little pups. At least he admits they're old.
Mm-hmm. Christian's the funny one, and Copeland's kind of the more serious one, and it really works, right? Like, Edge steps back and lets Christian cook, and then he says what actually
I do like that. Said. They have a good formula.
They do. And I just hope that this establishes the dogs as like a top team or near the top team, because I think they're still kind of cool. So I'm hoping that obviously they're not winning this, but it hopefully elevates them is what I would like to see. But
I agree, because that's what we've been saying is they definitely feel like a placeholder challenger, right? So I'm not surprised when they're losing.
And I'm
glad they're getting in there.
I appreciated Edge recapping that the dogs have been winning lately, right? Because I always forget everything.
Yeah, they also gave us that package earlier, so
they did
kind of
yes
get a couple things there.
It was helpful.
Then we get Starlight Kid promo package. She does not like Tekla dissing Stardom. She won't let her run wild. She will take the title back to Japan. Then we cut to Tekla. Tekla says she and Starlight Kid had like the same come up or whatever, but she's the one that got kicked out of Japan. She said she did all the same stuff. Or never mind. I almost read the same line again. She says she doesn't need to be anyone's favorite because all she cares about is the title. She'll spit on Starlight's mask after she beats her because she runs this place.
I like her heel logic here. It's basically like, I did everything you did over there and you're beloved and everyone hates me. It's kind of what we say about MJF, right? Like he's really,
I agree.
when it comes to like Paige, like you can do all this evil stuff and people still love you. I do the same things and I don't get the same response.
It's like kind of a light version of that because we
Yeah.
haven't even seen Stardom, right?
Because she's going, and to be fair, Tekla's kind of building this feud on her own. This is the first time somebody else is actually saying something. It's just been her.
That's true.
Dumping
From
on
Stardom
Stardom
side,
from now
yeah,
on.
she
Yeah.
has been dunking on Stardom a lot.
So I don't know. I think she just sounds really comfortable in this character she's playing right now, and I think she's really cool. I don't know anything about Starlight Kid, so feels like they're gonna have a match, and I hope it's good.
I agree. I've never seen her. I've like vaguely heard of her because, especially when we'd read PWI, I was like, I've seen the name before. I've just never seen it.
We still got to watch that pay-per-view Ghost Jam Stardom. I will watch that at some point when we got time.
Then we get a Brodito interview there. Bandito's excited about them being back together. King relaxes him, says they're still one of the best tag teams in the world. Bandito says he saw Moxley's title and he wants it. Death Riders come in. Moxley tells Bandito tranquilo, if he wants a shot, it means it's just the two of them, and he tells Bandito to shoot his shot. I am very pumped about the prospect of Mox Bandito, which has been made official. It's such a weird combination, but I'm just really intrigued to see it because I don't. It's such an odd.
And the fact that nobody else can get involved, I really, really like a lot.
Yeah. It's the kind of the perfect title for Moxley when he's Death Rider. Right now,
because it keeps them out of it.
The thought occurred to me. I wonder if they brought Brodito back together to maybe get a King heel turn. I don't think that's quite the angle yet because there was no sign of it here.
Nothing.
It was just a thought I had, but something they could do because I think it was just to get a tag match so that you could facilitate this.
Yeah, and Brody, it could be the Zarya. Like, why do you get the opportunity?
That's what I was thinking. Is maybe with Bandito calling his title shot here, maybe it's like
it could be.
Maybe we'll get there eventually. Actually, oh, Logan Paul's down. Then we get Mercedes Moné versus Hazuki from Stardom. It's not even Forbidden Door. It's Owen Hart, the women's tournament semifinal. I just had to make a note that I just hate Moné's theme so much. It's terrible.
And like I'm saying, it won worst theme for me, and I think this one is worse. So guess who's winning it next year?
Yeah, her first
2 years in a row with a different theme.
No, I think that yours was for 2024 technically. So I guess not 2 years in a row, but yes, I get what you're saying. We get Tombstone Lungblower from Moné for 2. Meteor against the bottom rope from Moné for 2. Draping DT on the apron from Hazuki, followed by a suicide dive. Diving shotgun dropkick from Hazuki for 2. She locks in a crossface right off the kick out. Moné counters into a pin for 2, but then it's back to the hold until Moné gets to the ropes. 3 Migos from Moné, of course. Middle rope Meteor on the ramp from Moné. Diving senton from Hazuki for 2. Locks in the crossface right after the kick out. Moné is able to get out eventually. We got stalling brainbuster from Hazuki. Moné rolls out of the ring. Moné goes for a tombstone lungblower. Hazuki counters. We get back and forth pins, and Moné whips her down really quick into the bank statement, like her submission. I thought it looked really vicious the way she did it. I thought it was great. The finish comes when Moné counters into a O'Connor roll, and she gets her right into a backstabber submission. Moné gets the win. I thought this was a really great women's match for TV. It started off kind of shaky, and I was like, "Oh, this is kind of just whatever." They're doing a lot of arm drags. There were a couple slip ups, but it ended up being quite enjoyable. I thought the final stretch had a great fast pace to it, and the crowd got more and more into it, which definitely helped things. A lot of fast things were happening, and even a couple solid near falls for Hazuki, even though you knew she wasn't winning. She looked pretty good though. I've never seen her before, so it was a good showing, I thought.
I was really impressed by this, and again, this was 23 minutes long, so two.
But this one, I think the time ended up working out.
I thought so too. I thought Hazuki looked pretty impressive here, and I don't think this crowd was awesome, but they were behind her pretty. They did get behind her, yeah. I've never seen her before at all, but I thought this was a really good match, one of the better women's TV matches I think that you'll see probably this year. So yeah, the crowd seems to connect with her. I don't know how much we're going to get to see her in AEW, but I thought for her debut, this was an awesome TV match. I would recommend it if you just want to see a good match and you don't know Hazuki like we don't. So I'm sure Ghost Jam may follow up with some help on her backstory for us. So that would be appreciated.
Or maybe some matches to watch.
Appreciate it, actually, because she looked really good here.
Probably useful for Starlight Kid, even though she's going to lose anyways.
But. And yes, Moné's moveset is somewhat repetitive, but I thought these two had really good chemistry because they've faced before, right? So I'm pretty sure. So yeah, I thought this was a really good match in the middle of the show.
Agreed. Then we get a My World Athena package. There was not a lot here, but it was solid. And then I saw Collision spoilers. Apparently, My World won.
Oh yeah, really?
I'm pretty sure. I'll double check. Oh yeah, because
it's going on pre-recorded, right? Interesting.
I'm pretty sure. Like, let me look at the Collision spoilers right now. I was pretty sure I saw Maya World won.
Good for her.
That's pretty crazy.
Poor Athena.
But then imagine maybe they get a tiebreaker match in ROH, and then maybe Maya World's the one to finally take the belt off Athena and free her from her purgatory.
True. I hope the match is good because we liked Maya World. It
was, and that was the match against Sky Blue,
right?
And I liked it.
I thought this package was good. It's showing us that they have history, that Athena basically helped train Maya World, and that she's been at ROH, the main and
crux of it.
So I thought it was kind of helpful.
Yeah.
I wasn't expecting her to win though, but that's cool.
Me neither.
Spoiler alert.
Then I thought we were really going Athena Monet again.
Yeah.
Guess not.
Nope.
Then we get the big segment of the week. It's Ospreay and Swerve face to face. We get Shivani introducing Ospreay, and he comes out. Shivani congratulates Ospreay on his wedding. He knows he's meant to be on the honeymoon, but Windsor knows how much William means to him. She said they can go to Hawaii anytime. He also made a joke about them consummating.
So I was going to ask you, is him talking dirty, is that part of the Death Rider's influence too, or is that just...
I think that's just him being cheeky, because like I've seen him on Twitter. He's like, he tagged her in a thing or something.
So I would have liked that they could have acknowledged the segment, what was it, last week, where they showed after and she's like in tears after losing. I would have liked him to sort of talk about that, but anyways.
Yeah, I
don't want to nitpick this excellent segment. So.
Maybe that's because maybe it's just personally doesn't want to, or maybe it's something we can talk about. Maybe it's not poignant right now.
Could be.
Then Shivani introduces Swerve and he comes out. Nana takes the mic from Shivani and says the suit on him is way too tight and he needs to leave.
Yeah.
Being mean to Shivani is it's such low-hanging fruit, but it works every time.
Of course.
I always feel bad for him, and I love Shivani. So
because he's like sympathetic, right?
He just is.
He's just like, I'm just standing here. Why are you?
It just works.
Yeah,
I don't know. I don't know what you want from me. It works. Swerve says it's been a while since they've interacted, but he's been keeping his eye on Will, and he's changed. Ospreay says he doesn't feel like anything has changed. He still dresses the same. Maybe his hair's a bit better, but something has changed about Swerve, and it's the way Swerve's looking at him, and he asks if they have a problem. Swerve says he does have a problem. He talks about everything they did last year to fight out the Death Riders, and now Ospreay's doing boot camp with them and acting like he's having fun with no explanation. Swerve says Ospreay never told anybody why he's doing what he's doing, and he's changed. Ospreay says he hasn't forgotten or forgiven what the Death Riders did to him. He just had to let it go, which I guess there is a difference, but it's like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Feels like he is excusing it almost.
A little bit.
Depends on how you look at it, I guess. Heel logic, Swerve, I mean, right? Mm-hmm. He says the training is working, his neck feels great, and his ground game has improved. He asks where Swerve was, when the Death Rider snapped his neck at Forbidden Door. Omega, Ops, Darby, everyone was trying to get in the cage, but Swerve wasn't, so where was he? But then he was also injured, so he kind of gives him a pass, but then he mentions how he was thinking about when this all started, when they teamed up against the Bucks at All In, and how Swerve said nothing when Hangman needed help. Ospreay went down to help and got his neck beat. Then Swerve ended up coming to help after all. And he's kind of like basically making the point that like Swerve came out later on to help Hangman, but didn't help Ospreay when he got his neck like stomped out. So he asks he says if they're brothers, he expects him to run through a wall for him because Ospreay would. So he asks why Swerve didn't help him. Then Swerve goes to speak, and Ospreay just smacks the mic right out of his hand because he doesn't need to hear it. The Owen's bigger, way bigger than any explanation he needs. He says this is his dream, and he used to work on building sites outside Wembley, watching the football crowds cheer, and he's one match away from getting a chance to kick the winning goal because he was talking about like the soccer games there. Football. He says he knows this is the Owen finals, but it's the semifinals for his World Cup. I like that. That was a cool topical thing. He says Swerve is a man standing in the way of his dream, and he won't hesitate to end it. So Ospreay won't hesitate to end him. Swerve says, not if I do first. He says last year he had to listen to Ospreay say it wasn't his time or Ospreay's time. It was Hangman's time, and he agreed, and he fought with Ospreay to get the title away from the Death Riders, but he asked where Hangman is now. He doesn't have the title. He can't even fight for it anymore. So all they did off of Ospreay's word was for nothing, so he won't stand by for Ospreay's dream this time. Then we got a bit of a cutoff because Swerve did drop an F-bomb, which I was able to find it censored later. He says he's done standing aside for people to get opportunities he deserves. He's not letting it happen anymore for anybody, not even Ospreay. He says every time they step in the ring, there's fireworks, but Ospreay hasn't beaten him. He says when he wins the title for a second time, Wembley, maybe Ospreay can challenge him then, and he can lose again and again because he isn't better than him on his worst day with his fragile-ass neck. This flips a switch for Ospreay. He slaps Swerve, knocks him on his ass. Nana hands the chain to Swerve. It looks like Swerve's going to get the upper hand with that. Before anything happens, Death Riders music hits. They come out. They surround the ring. Ospreay's kind of like waving him off. He's like, you know, you don't need to do anything. Swerve is going to leave, and he says Ospreay's wrong. He really has changed. So I have a lot of thoughts on this. If you want me to go, if you want to go.
All I will say, because I know you want to cook, is I will tell you right away, I thought it was fantastic, and then I'll just probably repeat what you said. So
yeah, okay. Feel free to chime in as you wish.
I will.
So I thought this was a fantastic way to build this match, and not only because we're building the upcoming match, but I thought it does a lot to build Ospreay's future after the finals, his journey to Wembley, maybe even after. It just does a lot to like further Ospreay's trajectory, I thought. Whew, okay. First off, I thought Ospreay was great. We all know the story. It's the Wembley dream. Of course, that had to be mentioned. Nothing new there. That's great.
And where were you, Swerve? That all makes sense.
Right. Yes, that was new, and I like that. But I really liked him pointing out Swerve not being there to help him. I never would have considered it in the moment, especially all in because we were always saying Swerve has to be the last guy to help Hangman, and it was super cinematic, and it was perfect. But I like this kind of hidden detail or like new angle of it in universe. It kind of paints in a different light, and I think it's really interesting. And so it gives Ospreay... So now Ospreay has a reason to want the title, and has a reason to be mad at Swerve. And I also really, really liked what Swerve said. Even though he's like been heel lately, even though he's the heel, he's right, I think. They put so much into helping Hangman. He literally last year, he stepped aside to let his great rival win the title, the world title he wants. And not even a year later, it feels all for nothing because Hangman lost the title and can't even challenge for it.
Well, and he's like, I got out of the way so Hangman could do that to go and help you take out the Death Riders who you've now joined.
Yes, and that as well,
so
yes.
Why did I get out of the title picture to help you? And I love that.
That was my next thing is, adding on top of that, Ospreay now changed the guys they work to take down. So Swerve now has a reason to be mad as well. And he's also right with slight heel logic to not want to sit aside again for someone else's moment because he did last year. So he has a reason to really want the title. I mean, he always kind of does anyways, but we're adding something onto it, right? So there's slight heel logic to justify his insane violence, but he still is kind of in the right here. You could justify his point of view. And what I really enjoyed as well is they're both right in that the other has changed. Obviously, recently we've seen Swerve go back to his violent heel ways, so he's changed since last year. And then Ospreay is right about that. And then Ospreay's been going to train with the Death Riders, changing not only his style, but kind of relying on them in some instances, whether he's doing so intentionally or not. They have had his back.
Yes.
Right? We saw that with the Ops, with Davis, and then here. So Swerve is also right. So, and I think it also adds to Ospreay's journey after this match, because when the Death Riders come out to assist, he's kind of smirking initially, like he seems kind of pleased about it, but then when Swerve says, "Oh, you've really changed," it seems to strike a nerve with him. So I'm curious to see how he's going to feel as the Death Riders maybe continue to rescue him throughout this journey. Maybe like MJF is employing more of the Callous guys, and the Death Riders keep coming in to save his ass.
Yeah.
Right? Like maybe eventually he's going to start feeling like they're too much of a crutch, or like something like maybe there's going to be some sort of, it's going to be the crux of some split.
Or
right?
it's like he wants to be trained by them. Like he referred to them as his training partners. Right. I don't think he wants it to feel or look like he's part of the faction. Right. So at some point their involvement might go too far.
Right. Yes, exactly. Something like that. So I really like that, and I'm intrigued to see the role Mox and them will play in his Wembley journey. But yeah, all around, I thought this was great. It really reminded me of that Ospreay Hangman segment, which is my favorite segment last year.
Me too.
Because that it was like it where you have both guys are right, both guys have a reason to win. This one's a little less so because I know Swerve's not winning. Last year it was like literally anybody's game, it felt like.
You can see it from both perspectives.
But yes, that's the thing I really liked about it.
And they're both incredible at creating drama. And
making it feel real and engaging.
A segment like this shows you why these guys are top guys that can carry a franchise, be at the top of the card forever.
Yes,
because
absolutely.
I thought Ospreay was great and that Swerve was even better.
I
loved Swerve here. Just the whole man, you said step aside for Hangman, and I did, and we were
because it made sense at the time,
and go eliminate Death Riders who you've now joined. So what were you doing? You're dragging me out of the title scene to do something pointless. Yeah. Now I want back in.
I agree. I really love this all around. I just thought like the Hangman Ospreay one last year did such a great job of building these finals beyond the tournament.
Yes.
And I like that because the tournament's easy reason to fight. It's easy stakes. It's easy everything. But I like when we do this where, okay, yeah, we have tournament, but you also have the added story
And this
between the
segment
characters
does add heat and interest for me.
Oh,
in a match
100%.
I was already like super thrilled to get.
I agree, because Swerve Ospreay is now one of those matches where it's just like, oh, you give me that match and I'm there.
And now there's a build with
now
it.
there's a better
They've
build
gone
to it,
just
yeah.
beyond it's a tournament match.
Yes.
It's now like there's backstory, right?
And I
So
like
it's
that
great.
because I like that we do this with the Owen finals, at least in the last few years, because I don't think it didn't feel like we did this much before last year. But anyways, in the last couple of years, we've done this with the finals. And I like it because you can't do that with the C2 finals, right?
Right.
Because the finals are determined the day of, which is fine. Like, and I love the C2. I wouldn't change anything about it. It's just I do like that distinction because then the Owen finals always feel so grand, right? They always feel like there's a little more to it than just the tournament. So I really like when they put all this effort into it.
Yeah, I just, as you were talking, added it to your potential best and worst
I think it has to be there, right?
And I also put in Monet and Hazuki just as something we should talk about again, probably at the end
I
of the
agree,
year,
yeah.
because it was great.
Yeah, this was just a fantastic segment. Easily, I think, the highlight of the show for me.
Yeah, this was my favorite segment for sure, and I think the women's match was my favorite match, honestly.
That's fair. Then we get Jericho and Ryuki challenges champion Mino on Collision. Great. Cool.
I put, because I remember I think I was making food, and I don't like to not put anything in my notes for each segment,
Sure.
so I just put Jericho says things, and then that's it.
Then we get Death Riders backstage. Garcia's talking about, like, you're going to let him talk to you like that? He's, like, kind of, prying at Ospreay almost. I don't know. He's being supportive, but it's, like, clearly annoying Ospreay. So Ospreay, like, pushes him against the wall and gets angry. Moxley says everything up there was just words, and words can't hurt you unless you let them. And words are used when there's nothing left. Ospreay's this close. He can't lose control or focus right now.
Good advice.
I thought it was good. It was solid, just logical advice. And it's just so interesting to me how Moxley managed to be this calming force for Ospreay when they were, like, in a blood feud.
Very New Hope, Skywalker, Yoda vibes here to me.
Yeah, interesting.
Right? Like, Ospreay is the kind of young, brash, like, starting to get irritated by things, and this guy just knows what to say to calm him down.
It's so interesting to me. But then Moxley's, like, working kind of heel against Bandito earlier. I do love how versatile Moxley has
that whole
become.
group right now, it's like wherever they need them to be.
And it kind of works.
I don't have a problem with it.
Well, it works because Moxley is such a great character worker that, like, since he's the main character he's the leader of the group, his versatility kind of lends the group well. And then, like, Claudio and Packer is likable because they're sick wrestlers, and I care little enough about Yuta and Garcia where I don't care if they're face or heel.
Yuta's the only one that gets constant heat no matter what he does.
And even then, that was like a while back. Now
It
it's
was.
like, I don't even know if that still happens.
Yeah, true.
Then we get our main event, which is basically cage match, no cage, is what I call it.
Yeah.
It's MJF and the Cal family. It's MJF, Okada, Andrade, Fletcher, Doyle, Knight against Mark Briscoe, Takeshita, Darby, Conglomeration, which is Cassidy, O'Reilly, Roddy. So yeah, Takeshita and Darby are the two picks. Makes sense. Takeshita's got beef with Proto Okada.
Yep.
Darby's got beef with Knight.
Yep.
Perfect. MJF starts, but immediately tags out to Andrade, which I thought was great because 1, he's avoiding Briscoe. 2, he's pissing off Andrade. Great stuff. Fletcher's ring gear is fantastic.
Here we go.
It was beautiful.
If you don't care about ring gear, skip forward.
It's beautiful.
Like a minute and a half.
It's like this white. It's white and pink. Obviously, it's pink. This white and pink nonsense with, like, it's got his usual stuff on it, but then it's got, like, this wavy pattern on the back of his knee pads and kick pads and on his trunks.
Kick pads don't match either. They were
the one kick pad's pink with white patterns logos. The other one's white with pink, and the trunks, I think, match. But yeah, it's like half pink, half white. It's beautiful, and it's such a nice ring gear to debut on a TV episode. I don't know why you wouldn't say that for a pay-per-view.
Yeah.
It was beautiful.
There
It
you
just extra star.
But
to
no
the
more
match.
figures being made.
Extra
so.
star to the match. I mean, yeah, right. What a time to not make figures.
Mhm.
Then we get Kyle versus Kyle back and forth. That was great. The chants are out there again. I think it's hilarious. It's great. A massive brawl breaks out, as you do when there's 12 dudes in a match. Cassidy with the suicide dive to Knight. Darby coffin drop to Doyle on the floor. Takeshita Tope to the pile of people. Fletcher beats down Darby, then Fletcher and Knight get into it. Like, they're, like, full-on shove match. Like, Fletcher's getting angry at him. They're still chirping each other from the apron, which I thought was great. And then Andrade's kind of in the middle. I'll talk about it more when the match is over, but I really like that.
It's like MJF lit that fuse by
by sticking them together
and staring down Fletcher while saying
yes,
Knight's the most talented one in the group.
That as well. That's a good point. Yes, and then you had Callis saying Knight will be the greatest TNT champion of all time. Like, there's so many things. I really like that. And babyface Fletcher, I think at the right time is gonna be great.
It will.
I think Fletcher Knight would be a really cool match too. I don't
would.
know if we've gotten that yet. It seems really cool.
Not sure.
I mean, Fletcher Speedball is obviously where it's at.
It is.
But yeah. Anyways, I thought that was great bickering. They keep doing this spot where like they feed Cassie's arm to Doyle, and he'll wrench on it a bunch. Eventually, Cassie turns around on MJF predictably. Doyle unknowingly does it to him, and Andrade's like loving it. And I thought that was great.
Andrade was great. The timing wasn't great because Doyle had to stand there for quite a while waiting for the arm to get there. But
it's a bit of a goofy spot.
Andrade was funny.
I can forgive it. Andrade really made that for me.
Yeah.
Roddy hot tag. I wrote in brackets. He's the best.
I was
Roddy.
thinking the same thing.
Every time Roddy does cool things, I'm like, oh my god, Roddy's so cool.
Strictly in ring, there's not many dudes that I like to watch more than that guy.
Strictly in ring, Roddy's in like my top 20 favorite
1,000
wrestlers.
years old at this point.
I know he's been going for like ages, and he's so good.
So
like,
good.
Whenever he gets in these multi-man tags and just goes on a tear, I'm like, God, Roddy's awesome.
So fit, everything looks so snug,
and he's breaking everybody's back. Like he's
everything's
just
clean.
And you know he's gonna do his typical shit. He's gonna do backbreaker. He's gonna do like that face buster move. He's gonna do his kick, his knees. He's gonna do the whatever in the corner. Like you know what he's gonna do, but he does it so well every time. And he's just like he's going everywhere.
He's only 42. Not that old.
That's old.
Been wrestling forever though.
Yeah. No, he's just. I don't know, man. He's
great.
so good.
He was my first note. Roddy looked great. Is my first thing
Roddy's
that
so
I wrote.
Great. Even like I've loved him ever since I started watching him in NXT because that was when obviously my exposure to him.
I remember he was a kid back in ROH.
But
frat boy.
And then he was like he was bland babyface in NXT for a bit before Undisputed Era. But anyways, Roddy's awesome. He's great, and I'm glad he's in AEW because WWE like once it stopped being black and gold, he wasn't gonna be this kind of cardio monster.
Mm-hmm.
Like he's meant to be like this.
He is.
It reminds me of I just saw like a compilation of Riddle. If I wish he wasn't a shithead and like had his stuff together.
Some of his flurries
he's awesome.
Unbelievable.
Oh my god, Riddle and the black and gold he is amazing.
He's great.
Like him and Roddy are when I think of like a wrestler cardio machine, it's them.
And so this sounds crazy.
And he was so unique too. The way he would string stuff together was insane.
But Mason Rook's got a bit of that. Where he strings a bunch of stuff together.
If you're saying like, because you know how you say Claudio's like pound for pound because he's not like the biggest dude. Oh, he's pretty big, but he's not the biggest dude. And he's like, but he's really strong. Like if we're going pound for pound cardio, Rook's got to be up there because he's not like this fit.
Not at all.
He's not like Roddy. Like you would think him and Roddy are like on opposite ends of that, but like they're more right. So I think pound for pound, Rook. Yeah, that's fair. But yeah, no, Roddy I could gush over him every time he wrestles. He's just amazing. If he could promo better.
I know.
He would have been like NXT champ. He would have been world champion anywhere because he's amazing. He's so good. Strong uses Cassie as a battering ram to take out Fletcher in the night. Then Cassie with Hurricane Rana Andrade. Strong with an Olympic slam to Doyle. That was impressive strength. He got a 2 count. Knight trips Darby. Then Andrade smashes him with the boot fake back elbow. I know there's a name for it now. I don't care.
No.
Sequence of moves for all. Takeshita and Okada go at it. Then Fletcher comes in to help. Takeshita fights them off. Fletcher nails a half and half in his corner kick. We get a really great back and forth between Proto Shida.
Made a note of that too.
That was awesome. It ends in a Takeshita Blue Thunder Bomb. I'll talk about that a bit after. MJF tags in, goes for Roddy, then Briscoe tags in. MJF's panicked. Knight comes in, Briscoe takes him out, MJF bails. Briscoe clears house. We get Briscoe going for a J drill on MJF. Knight makes a save with a springboard clothesline. Darby jumps him, Knight flees, and Darby chases him through the arena up to the stage. He's like on top of Knight, choking him. Then Doyle makes the save, and throws Darby off the ramp into the ring post. That was awesome.
Darby takes that so well.
Yep. J drill and MJF for the phantom pin while Callis distracts the ref. MJF eventually he ends up making strong tap pretty quick in the Salt of the Earth.
Roddy tags in at the last second, and we're like, here it comes.
Yeah,
poor
Roddy. Beat down after the match. He wants Briscoe up for a ring shot. Andrade doesn't want to do it. Callis just basically tells him to do it. He does like the bell motion, promises him a title shot. Andrade obliges. Then MJF nails Briscoe with the ring. So I don't know about you. I really enjoyed this.
Very fun.
There are complaints to this, and I will get there. I thought initially it was a little slow, and there were too many guys. I was like, oh my god, this is going to be a cluster, you know. But I think eventually they found their footing, and I found it to be a lot of fun. I thought maybe like guys like Doyle and O'Reilly didn't do as much, but what he did looked great, yeah. And there were a lot of fun stretches towards the end. I love when we get the sequence where everyone does something. It's a trope, but it's always a lot of fun. I don't care. It's great. I thought Roddy had a really great showing. His hot tag was awesome. We got a glimpse of Fletcher Takeshita, which I thought was extremely tantalizing. Just enough to like get me really excited for that. We got a bit of Takeshita Okada as well. Bit of Darby Knight, like that got furthered. And things just got hectic towards the end in a fun way I like. This wasn't necessary by any means because I know you're going to say it. They're literally all going to be in a match next week. That is my main thing here. But this was so fun, I can kind of forgive it.
Yeah.
Like, I just had a good time with this.
And I think as well that this match, and sometimes this would be a complaint, but I'm going to turn it into a non-complaint here.
Okay.
This ended up being a lot of like one-on-one while everybody's outside.
Which it will be different in the cage.
You can't do that
The cage will be different, yeah.
So I feel like that's a way of
And I feel like that one will be more drawn out and long because this is a TV match, right?
So my hope is that that's going to make it feel different.
There's
right?
also going to be a lot of like plunder spots, I think, right?
Sure.
And so I will say I kind of mentioned already, I like Takeshi and Darby being the picks for the team for Briscoe because it furthers each of their issues with the Callis guys. And again, if this feels like a little thrown together, but it feels more logical again than Stadium Stampede because that one, yes, you did have like Davis and Perry, for example, with their issues in the Bucks and the Dogs, but this one feels more natural because you already have these feuds existing. Davis and Perry, yes, but that felt like, I don't know, it felt more contrived and just thrown together in Stadium Stampede. This, it's like, okay, Briscoe and MJF's a major feud. Takeshita Fletcher's a major feud. Takeshita Okada, that's still kind of there. Darby Knight, like there's a lot going on. You have even like it furthers things on the heel team with Andrade and MJF and Fletcher and MJF, Fletcher and Knight, which again, that was something I forgot to mention. I thought Fletcher and Knight bickering in this match was great because not only does it further maybe Fletcher potentially leaving, if there's like the notion of Callis is just putting too many top guys with egos in the same group. And I think it previews the downfall of MJF's team. They're not going to coexist.
It's impossible to manage those personalities.
I think MJF wanting the top guys, it has the same fatal flaw as Callis wanting all the top guys, is that there's too many combustible elements and it's going to fall apart at Forbidden Door. I think it's going to either one or two things or a combination of both. Knight and Fletcher not working together, or Andrade not working with MJF, or maybe even Andrade not working with Knight. But like I said, there's so many combustible elements on that team.
So as a huge basketball fan, it's kind of this idea in sports
I think
where
this is what you mentioned to me, right?
You can't have everybody being a star on if your starting five are all like super mega stars. They'll always say like there's not enough basketballs to go around, right? Like the egos get in the way.
There's not enough title belts to go around, or world titles, we'll say.
Which is why amazing teams have role players, right? Like even the Knicks that just won the NBA championship, they have guys in specific roles, and so MJF.
Or like that's what we have with like Brian Cage and
MJF. Just
say what you want, RPG Vice,
all the talent, right? And it's gonna probably lead to some troubles. Did you see the footage of?
Doyle is definitely the fall guy, though.
You see the footage of Cage competing in a bodybuilding competition.
Yeah,
I
saw a shot of it. I'm like, that's not a real person.
Insane.
But yeah, I thought this was a lot of fun.
Me too. I thought,
and hopefully it won't be too similar to the Cage match.
I think
there are valid complaints.
I think the plan is that this was a lot of one-on-one waiting around, and we're gonna get something different. So yeah, I
agree.
Roddy looked great. I liked Doyle when he was there. The Fletcher Takeshita sequence was awesome. Just a lot of fun, like a very AEW style match with even more people than usual.
I do miss the regular multi-man tags. So this gave me that bit of sauce, I think.
And I don't love that they're running it back with the same people, but again, it's a different stipulation and a different style, so I'm hoping to not care in the moment.
Agreed.
Overall thoughts on the show?
So there was, like, I don't think there's a lot I really disliked on this show.
And a segment that has to, like,
there's
raise the
grade.
grade.
Segment of the year contender right off the bat. A really good women's match.
Loved it.
I mean, a women's match I like second week in a row, right?
Yep.
And a really fun main event. And then for segments, other than the great one, obviously, I think you had more great work with the Death Riders. Jericho was kept like super brief, so it's like a non-factor.
Tekla was cool.
Tekla was cool. Ciampa was good. And then like the tag match with the Death Riders was longer than I needed to be, but it wasn't a bad match.
It was not. The women's match was great.
And
the
Omega
main
Nice
was fun.
Served its purpose. The opening segment was also really good. I don't know.
So honestly, there's a good tag match. There's a good women's singles match. There's a good 12-person match.
A great
right?
segment.
There's an amazing segment. I know I have mine written down, but what do you think?
I initially had a B+, but now I'm like second guessing it.
So I am a B+. I think I'm firmly B+. Just something I just didn't feel A level to me. It might.
You know what? I'll stick with my guns. Yeah,
I think
that's what I had written down, so I'll leave it.
A very good show. If the opening match hadn't felt kind of random, you know what I mean?
That's not an opening match. That was Omega.
Oh, sure. Sorry, I forgot about that altogether. Squash match too. But yeah, very good show. Went by quickly. A lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so now we're going to shift gears. We'll do a little bit of trivia. I am not going to do the ones I've been sort of relying on lately. I went and found something else, so we'll try that now. We call it Off the Top of His Head. All right, so this week I just searched for trivia that was, I don't know, new this week from wherever I could find it. So it's completely unrelated to anything. It is WWF, specifically 1989, from a site called Fun Trivia. There's some for sure some you probably won't know, some you will because it's multiple choice, and some I won't even need to give you the options. So we'll go with that. All right, you ready?
Uh-huh.
On January 7th, 1989 edition of Saturday Night's Main Event, the Red Rooster had his long-awaited falling out with manager Bobby the Brain Heenan. Each blamed the other when the Rooster lost his match. Who was his opponent on that match? Options? I'm assuming.
Sure.
Coco Beware, Tito Santana, Hillbilly Jim, Rick Martel.
Tito Santana.
Correct.
Because I feel like you should, like, that's someone you'd be mad about not beating.
So I took this quiz and I said Coco and I was wrong. Okay, good guess. On number 2, on January 7th, 1989, edition of Saturday Night's Main Event, Brutus the Barber Beefcake lived up to his name by shaving the head of a longtime rival. Who lost their hair to the barber on this night? Was it Outlaw Ron Bass, Greg the Hammer Valentine?
Ron Bass.
You know that?
I think.
You're right.
Yeah, it just sounds familiar.
Yeah, I knew you'd know some of these. This one I got wrong too. On January 15th, 1989, the WWF presented the 1989 Royal Rumble. In one of the undercard matches, veteran woman wrestler Judy Martin challenged for the WWF Women's title. Who was the champion at the time?
Rockin' Robin?
Wow, you are a nerd.
She's related to Jake Roberts.
I guessed Wendy Richter. I was wrong.
No, I knew it wasn't Richter because I'm pretty sure this is by the time they did that screw job on her with Moolah.
I feel like you might know this one too.
So far, I'm pitching a perfect game.
You are. And 89, so you were not. I was 12 years old at that point.
So I'm safe to say I wasn't a thought.
Correct. Axe and Smash started the Rumble in an exciting way by drawing numbers 1 and 2 respectively. I remember that.
Yep.
Also, by the way of a crooked deal with Ted DiBiase, the Big Boss Man and Akeem, aka the Twin Towers, entered back-to-back.
Such a crazy name.
A third tag team also entered the match, one number apart from the other, virtually unnoticed. Who was that tag team?
Okay.
Options?
Sure.
The Rockers, the Powers of Pain, the Brainbusters, the Bushwhackers.
My gut was Powers of Pain, so I'm going with that.
That was my guess too. It's incorrect.
It's funny because I just remember them being in Rumbles and Warlord getting eliminated really quick. So I was thinking Powers of Pain before you even said anything.
12-year-old me just thought they were cool.
Or was it Rockers?
It was Brainbusters.
Okay.
Speaking of Ted DiBiase in early 1989, I guess he became tired of trying to win a title, decided to make one of his own. What was the title called?
$9 million title.
Told you that was an easy one.
What were the other options, actually? Now I'm curious.
Silver Strap.
Oh, what?
Teddy's title.
Okay.
DiBiase's Diamond Belt.
Okay.
That one's
okay.
On April 2nd, the WWF presented WrestleMania 5, which was held for the second straight year at Trump Plaza. Besides Roddy Roddy Piper, which other WWF legend decided to make his return at that event?
Jesse Ventura.
You want your options?
Sure. Is he not even there?
No. Bruno, Big John Studd, Superfly Snuka, Ricky the Dragon.
Studd.
Snuka. Damn. WrestleMania 5 was a special evening for Bobby the Brain Heenan because the late, great Rick Rude defeated the Ultimate Warrior in the WWF Intercontinental title, giving Heenan his first title in almost 5 years with the WWF. Interesting. I know you know this one. What did Heenan do to the Warrior which helped Rude get the victory? Very famous
Warrior's
spot.
Going for a suplex. He trips his feet and then Rude pins him and Heenan holds his feet down.
And that's been that spot's been sort of
That's
recreated.
like an infamous spot.
It is. One of the featured matches saw Jake the Snake Roberts battle Andre the Giant with Big John Studd serving as a guest referee. Attempting to eliminate Jake's intimidation of Andre with his pet Damien, another heel attacked Jake before the bout and tried to steal the snake. Who was it? Options?
Yeah.
Mr. Perfect, Honky Tonk Man, Ted DiBiase, Bad News Brown.
Bad News Brown.
Incorrect. He's been mentioned already a couple times in this. DiBiase. In a televised incident in the spring of 1989, the fabulous Rougeau brothers, I kind of remember this, sparked a heated rivalry with the unpopular Rockers, Marty Jannetty and Shawn Michaels. What did they do that started the feud? Specific injury, like attacked what body part? You don't remember?
No, I don't even know what this is.
It was Shawn Michaels' throat. I think it was like with the megaphone or something. They hit him. Anyways, spring of 1989, Greg Valentine defeated rival Ronnie Garvin in a match with a stipulation that the loser had to retire. Sticking around with WWF, what did Garvin do during his brief retirement? He was still with the company, but not at wrestling.
Producer?
No. Want options?
Sure.
Ref, timekeeper, color commentator, manager.
Manager.
He was a referee. I actually remembered that one. Spring of 89, vignettes began to air weekly about the American dream. To further his reputation as a champion of the common man, these skits had him working normal everyday jobs.
Yeah.
Which job was Rhodes never shown doing?
Okay.
Which
I think I know a couple of them.
I know for sure one of them. Gas station attendant, plumber. I think we can all agree that was
plumber. I know he did plumber.
Factory worker, sanitation worker.
Actually, plumber might be the only one because I know he did pizza delivery too, but I don't think that's on there. Sorry, it was
gas station,
worker,
plumber,
gas station.
factory, sanitation.
Okay, so I feel like he did sanitation.
Mm-hmm.
So now we're down to factory, or
you're down to 50-50. Gas station attendant.
I feel like he didn't do factory.
Correct.
Yeah,
very good. This one I remember. Mid 89, Barry Windham returned for a very brief stint in the WWF. What was he referred to?
Is it Widowmaker?
Correct.
Yeah.
Because he kills their husbands, right? It's a badass gimmick. That's what it is. Because he kills men, so he leaves widows.
Okay, I never
pretty
understood
cool.
that
It's
name.
actually
that is
badass.
Cool. Okay.
Yeah.
I thought it was stupid until now.
No, it's great.
That is great. That's awesome.
During
was this the one where he wears camo face paint, or no? That's a different.
No,
that
was oh my god, what was that?
What was that called though?
He was the something, I think.
You're right. I'll look it up because now I'm curious.
During the year 1989, the man-made moniker of King was worn by no less than 3 different wrestlers. Which of the following was not King in 1989? Okay.
The Stalker.
Yes, there it is. Haku, Hacksaw Jim Duggan.
He was.
Harley Race.
He was.
Macho Man. No.
Oh, wait, it was in 89? Oh, maybe that's when he won it. Oh, maybe I'm messing with the years. Then Duggan, I'm going to say.
Harley Race, they're saying.
Oh, so he won earlier. Okay, I was just mixing them.
And it's not AI, so I'm going to trust the source more, but I don't think anyways. In November 1989, WWF presented the 3rd annual Survivor Series. How was the format of the matches changed? How was it different in 89?
For
the Survivor Series matches.
Sorry, I was looking at Barry Windham's.
The format of the matches in 89. You want options?
Sure, yeah.
I forgot I had them. Each team had a surprise member. The elimination factor was dropped. There were 5 matches of 4 against 4. The survivors returned for one final match.
That one?
No.
I remember them doing that.
5 matches.
Oh,
I don't think that was 89. And then this one I knew. For the 2nd year in a row, a notorious heel lived up to his ill-tempered reputation by intentionally getting counted out in the matches. Who was it? Bad News Brown, Rick Rude, Perfect, Andre.
Bad News Brown?
Correct.
Lived up to his name.
Yeah, he's Bad News. All right, that was it. Wasn't bad anyway. It's just a random 1989 trivia. You did very well considering you were long from being born. Okay, we're going to shift beers. No, definitely not. We're going to shift gears.
Having beer.
Highspots and Restholds is what we call it. We're going to talk about some Raw. We're going to talk about some NXT. We'll do that right now. So we're going to talk a tiny bit of Raw. I'm going to run things by you. We'll see your thoughts on it. I think you're up to date on what happens.
I'm usually pretty up to date, yeah.
So let's see how you felt, if you have any thoughts on it. So first thing is Io advances to the Queen of the Ring finals by defeating Raquel Rodriguez, and she will face the winner of Charlotte Flair and Liv Morgan in the finals. So let me ask you.
I was listening to who you said, and I already forgot. Say it again.
So it was Io in.
Okay. Got it.
She'll face the winner of Flair Morgan. So my thing is like,
Morgan's champion, by the way, and she hasn't defended her title, but they have her doing this, by the way.
And you just brought up a crap ton of new women. Why not use this as an opportunity to build somebody? We're right back to Flair.
Okay, I know. Have built up Ruka because she's at least Intercontinental champion.
Okay. Fatal influence have vanished.
JC Jane winning Queen of the Ring makes sense.
as far as I
They're
know,
on SmackDown.
they've kind of vanished.
They've been on SmackDown. I think they've been decently prominent, but they've been on SmackDown.
Oh, yeah. So I don't know about them.
What does it matter?
I just feel like, why Charlotte Flair again?
Why Charlotte Flair ever?
If it's her or it's Liv Morgan. So
Okay, I think it's...
And I love Io, don't get me wrong.
I think it's a lose-lose. It's like damned if you do, damned if you don't, because it's either Charlotte Flair and gross, it's Charlotte again. Disgusting. The queen wins. Because she's the queen.
On brand.
Or the world champion wins it, and then, like, she's going to go to the finals just so she can take SummerSlam off?
2 belts? Go after the other belt?
Or go after the... Like that. But either way, that's stupid.
I agree.
You shouldn't be allowed to do that.
And just put some new people in there. Anyways.
Not even new people. Just don't put your world champion in there when it's for a world title shot. It's that simple.
Chad Gable is back.
And he has a new Def Rebel, terrible, like, Nickelback ass.
I heard bad things about it.
I heard it once, barely listened to it, hated it, don't want to hear it again.
So he beat Rusev, Angle Slam, Ankle Lock, and then Ethan Page attacked Gable after. So that's his first program, I guess, as Chad Gable again. So, I mean, in ring could be really good. They're both really good. So, and they can both talk and stuff too. So it could actually be a cool mid-card feud, hopefully. LA Knight tells the Usos that they can kiss his ass. I don't know what's going on with the Usos and LA Knight, but they attack him. And is this?
I kind of know, but I don't know if I could explain it well enough to you. I don't care.
And I was watching it. It looks like Jay is like the evil one, and Jimmy's the like good one.
So it's like the opposite.
And they eventually, yeah. So they kind of hesitate because they're debating on beating him with the chair, I think, and Jimmy's kind of like, hold on, and then Knight gets the upper hand with the chair.
It's just we're retreading stuff from 3 years ago,
and then
4 years ago.
Fatu comes out to apply the Tongan death grip tonight.
Cool.
Is Fatu kind of cool as... And that was the thing I didn't talk about at the opening segment, right? Fatu is officially welcomed into the bloodline, and then they beat the hell out of Eric Andre, right? And
Look, that's stupid, though.
Fatu it was kind of interesting because they walk by, Roman acknowledges him, one of the Usos shakes his hand, the other one walks by being mean. I forget which one.
Jay.
And then he like is touching Fatu and touching the Ula Fala or whatever, and Fatu just drags him over the bear.
But it's just a waste of time having beat up a comedian, because of course you can.
It is, but Fatu is awesome.
Fatu is cool, but like...
And he's super believable as...
I just don't care.
Is there any interest in him as like the unhinged muscle for Roman, maybe? I don't...
If I still care about the bloodline, yes.
I know, but they're just copy and pasting.
It's like, it's literally just like this is the most creatively bankrupt company to ever exist in the history of the planet.
They're just like, hey, remember what people really liked when we were the most popular we've been?
Remember when we were really great and everyone loved us? Let's do that again.
Copy paste that.
Yeah. No.
Fatu's super cool though, I will say.
I did always like Fatu.
Did you see the spot where Breaker speared the crap out of Javon?
Yes.
He's coming off for the OG cutter. Looked pretty good.
That was good.
And then the Street Profits come down to save Javon because black?
Yes.
Wait, is that why?
So they also have been feuding with the Vision, to be fair.
Okay.
But also because black.
Because black. And it's like if you're Samoan or could pass for Samoan, you're with this group.
Like when Bronson Reed teamed with the Bloodline
you're in this group. If you're the Asian women, we're all put in a group.
If you're Mexican or Hispanic, you're in the LWO.
Right.
Or Legado del Fantasma.
Long history of not having races mix with each other for whatever reason. And the only other thing is Oba obviously beat Dom Mysterio to advance to the King of the Ring finals, where he awaits either Javon Evans or Jey Uso. And you think it's Jey Uso, right?
Why would I think they would do anything else?
I know.
Why would I expect them to do anything else?
I know.
Not only because this company, again, stupid and creatively bankrupt, but also because, we're doing the Bloodline thing again, so we're going to pretend Jey Uso could be a singles guy. Let's just stop. Can we stop?
And fans of WWE can talk to me about how great they're doing with Oba. I would suggest Oba's undeniable.
I think they could really kill him if they tried.
Oba is hard to screw up.
I think they could do it. No, I think they could do it.
You have faith. They could.
I think they could do it. I don't have faith.
It'd be hard though.
I don't have faith in them for very much, but I have faith they could screw up anything.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was telling you, like, there's a pretty likely reality where Jay beats Oba. Maybe it's not clean because maybe Brock shows up, but do you really even care at that point? Jey Uso just beat Oba Femi. Do you even care how it happens?
I'm hearing more steam on that theory because Oba's promo, I think, on Raw was
mentioning Brock.
Was directed at Brock.
You've been a fan of Oba for like his whole NXT for a while now. Like, even if there's interference, do you even care how it happens? Like Jey Uso being Oba, that's a problem.
I know that is a problem,
right?
Yeah,
but
it is.
Here's the thing. I don't think there's any other outcome other than it's either Oba or Jay. I don't think Javon's making it, and
I don't
Javon sure
either.
as hell isn't challenging either Roman or
Oh,
Cody.
I think we get Oba Jay. I just don't.
Yeah.
I guess you just will have Brock come in.
I've seen theories that like maybe Oba wrestles Brock on one night of SummerSlam and like challenge for the title the other. I don't really like that either because it's like you already refuse to do more than like 5 matches per night or per show. We'll see if each night's a show per show. You're gonna have one guy on both. I get Oba's great. Don't get me wrong. I'm not like, but like, no. Can we just do this? Can we have? Oh, here's the thing. I don't think there's any good way to do it. I don't see Oba winning either of the titles right now.
And we always talk about WWE's a moment-making machine, and that's all they care about. So Brock coming out to interfere will be a moment, and then Jey Uso yeeting and doing his crap with the.
Here's the thing. I was gonna say
King
like
of
you
the
could have
Ring will
Oba
be
win a
something.
title, and then like maybe the Oba Brock rubber matches for the title, and it's big, and that's great, cool, whatever. But
He is the ruler, though, so
I don't see either the champions losing right now. Cody just
doesn't lose.
He will just never drop the belt for a significant amount of time, and if he does, I think it'll be to Gunther tomorrow. But I also am not sure that's happening.
I don't feel like Cody will ever lose clean. It'll always
He's lost clean like once or twice
Yeah.
since he's come back, I think. And I don't think Roman's dropping the belt.
No.
I don't think Roman's dropping the belt till at least Mania. We're in one of those pigeonholed situations again. Because the stipulation tomorrow is that it's Gunther Cody on SmackDown and Sami Zayn's the ref. Because, you know, Zayn's been...
Mm-hmm.
Gunther got to pick a stipulation. This is what he did.
Yeah.
Because last match, his foot was under the rope and he's like, blah, 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 complaining.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, Zayn's been like flirting with heel stuff. He's been like
Yes.
kind of bickering with Cody. So I do think there's a decent chance Gunther wins that. But then at the same time, if he's a new champion and he's the champion that Oba could face at SummerSlam, I don't think he's losing either.
No.
So no matter what or like whichever way we're going to SummerSlam, I don't see the champions losing their belts. So at that point, I don't want Oba to win the tournament. But then he's probably gonna have to lose to Jey Uso, which I don't want to happen. So they literally
Brock interference will do it though.
I guess, but like again, I asked. That's still not good. It's Jey Uso beating
know.
Obafemi. You can't come back from that.
I agree.
And like, so it's one of those situations where because they're idiots and they're doing dumb stuff, like having Jey get to the semis, doing bloodline stuff again, you know, booking Oba on this when he's feuding Brock, like they're just doing something like they booked themselves into like one of those unnecessary corners, like when they put Rollins against the Fiend, where it's like Rollins isn't dropping the belt, but they don't want to have the Fiend lose, and they did like the worst Hell in a Cell match of all time.
Yeah.
It's one of those things. So I don't know. This is why I don't pay attention to them. It's not even like the most egregious thing they've done, and it's already like it's irritating.
Mm-hmm.
It's no.
So NXT, I was amused this week. There was a couple times where women point out standard wrestling tropes that are just happening everywhere, but in NXT as well, that I thought was kind of funny. So keep a watch out for that. So we start out, we get Zarya in the ring to speak, and almost sounds like a babyface because she's really emotional, talking about winning the North American title and saying like, I got out of Soul's shadow, I did this on my own, I set the women's division on fire, won the North American championship. And then it's like at the end, and she's just like, oh, and I don't owe the fans anything. It's kind of like, just so you know, I'm a heel, because I kind of sounded sympathetic there. Kalani comes out to congratulate Zarya, remind us that Kalani was the first ever North American champion. She made the title relevant. She tells Zarya to hold on to the title tightly because you never know when you'll get another shot. She's annoyed that Kendall Gray is getting a shot at Lola Vice's title because Kalani is 1-1 with Gray. Kendall Gray comes out to tell Kalani that she can watch Gray win the title at Great American Bash, and if Kalani challenges Gray after that, the results will be the same. Zarya is, I think, rightfully annoyed that it's her time to speak and it's become about all these other people coming out.
Naturally.
But then Lola Vice comes out to basically tell Zarya to get over Sol Ruca, which I would agree with that advice. And she says she's beaten Gray before and she'll do it again. Robert Stone comes out, and this is the one where Lola Vice just goes, I know, basically, like, you're here to make a match between, you know, and it was. It's exactly what it was. So a standard wrestling segment, nothing wrong with it. It's just like they've done this thing with these people already. It feels like a bunch, right? So I do kind of get it. It's developmental. You're getting 4 people a little bit of time talking in front of a live crowd, which they need to do.
And interacting with each other.
So I get it. It's just kind of predictable, and we've done it a bunch lately. Really good Tavion Heights match. He took on Jackson Drake. 12 minutes. I quite enjoyed this.
It was with Jackson Drake.
It was about Heights throwing Drake all over the place and Drake selling and looking really believable doing it, right? The rest of Vanity Project obviously get involved. At one point, Heights just belly to belly overheads. I wasn't expecting it, just over the ropes and onto the other guys on the floor. I thought it looked pretty cool. Drake hit a really nice springboard cutter. Bourne shows up to stop. Baylor and Smokes are about to get involved again. Bourne kind of drags them out of the ring, takes them out. Heights turns around, ducks a punch from Drake, hits his finishing belly to belly for the win. I thought Heights looked really strong, and I haven't been the biggest fan of him.
Not his best finish suplex, though.
All the time. But he looked good here, and Drake is really young and good at just taking a beating, too. He's kind of that weaselly little heel, right, that just finds ways to win generally. Not here, but he took a beating, sold really well. Just, he's like, only gains control when through shortcuts and cheating, right? So the result of this is Heights will now challenge Bourne for the North American title at Great American Bash. And if it's me, I'd give it to Heights because Bourne's had it for a while now, and we kind of see it's nothing memorable. And I'm not sure Heights will be memorable either, but why not find out?
And then you can just give it to Drake.
At this point, right. And then you could circle back around to that if you want to. A terrible segment backstage. Hank and Tank are there for, I don't know why, with two of the judges from the Mr. NXT pageant. So the comedian guy, whose name I don't care and he's awful, and the Evolve champion, who is Rourke. I don't know his first
name.
Rourke. Aaron. I was going to say Ethan.
Rourke.
So the point is they're there to argue with Birthright to set up a match with Hank and Tank at some point, I'm sure. Felt random. The comedian guy, I don't even know his name, is absolutely horrible in this capacity. Like, just not believable at all. Izzy Dame beat Thea Hale in a speed tournament match. Hale was supposed to be shotgunning a drink on the way out to the ring, I guess because she's a grown-ass woman. But she kind of botches it, has trouble doing it. Anyways, Hale's trying to get her Kimura on. Izzy Dame wins with a running knee, which is not one of her finishers. So that was the only notable thing. The rest was, it's a speed match. Who cares? Tony D and Naraku are having a sit down in a restaurant. And basically this was, hey, Tony, we need you to educate people on Naraku's history in Japan, but you can't mention New Japan and you can't mention anyone's name specifically, right? So it was about how, okay, you've won a lot of titles, like 14 titles or whatever it was, but you always use the numbers game to cheat all the time is the best they could do, right? Because they're not going to say anything specific. But it was just letting us know, like, you were a big heel and you always used other people. So the fact that you're here alone is kind of different.
I saw someone theorize that this will lead to Takahashi debuting since he's been kind of rumored.
It did end with Naraku saying evil is coming. So whatever that means.
He's already there.
So Naraku has the contract. He says he got it from Stone and he wants Tony to sign it. Tony does. Naraku says he won't sign it until next week and then ends, like I said, he says evil is coming and starts laughing. So it was okay. I think some people maybe need that backstory for Naraku.
I guess.
It was acknowledging his backstory and possibly to set up, I feel like, something sneaky about the contract because Tony didn't read it. He just signed it. And then
I can see that.
It's like Naraku's implying other people are coming. So I don't know if it's
Takahashi
where they could go with that. But did they put the title on Naraku? Tony D, like
do you really want to put the title on
The men's
Evil,
champions are so bland right now. I find.
Remember when we had like Cole, Gargano, Ciampa, Andrade?
The men's division is hurting. The women's division is thriving,
Nakamura.
I would say. We've got Keanu Carver backstage, and he still like wants Stone to give him a match. And EK Prosper shows up. So Stone tells him he has a match with EK Prosper. Carver is like acting like, why are other people getting title shots and you're giving me EK Prosper? Like, this guy's beneath me. And Prosper was actually, I thought, sounded really good, saying like, man, I'm not going to stand here and let you disrespect me, sort of thing, right? And then Carver basically says that Prosper must have a death wish. And Carver, man, this guy has that sort of presence and the physical charisma, you know what I mean? If he can actually figure out how to wrestle, they've got something. Because he is really believable as just this badass dude walking around backstage intimidating everybody. We just need to get him a little more polished in the ring. And I think we got something. Over delivery of the week for me was the Natty and Jada Parker match. I will say I liked it. Isn't that crazy? I would have thought there was no chance. So Natty, this made me laugh, is flanked at the ramp. I don't think they stayed, but as she was coming out, Nikita Lyons and Carmen Petrovich, who I had to pause because I had no idea who it was because I forgot she existed.
I saw a clip of them and I was like, is that Petrovich?
It is.
I forgot about her.
And Nikita Lyons. So the best of the best with Natty.
She needs to tone down
Natty's going to train him up.
She needs to tone the sexiness, so.
Yeah, that's right. So this was about Natty applying holds, Jada being able to counter some and apply some of her own on top of hitting some of her usual offense. Natty kicked out of the hypnotic. Second one sends Natty to the floor. Jada ends up being run into the steps, back in the ring, discus clothesline sharpshooter for the Natty win, about 14 minutes. Honestly,
I saw something about like Parker crying after the match, so maybe they're really selling it.
Way better than I expected. The crowd was really into it by the end, and I imagine this will continue because I can't imagine Natty comes back just to beat Jada Parker, who...
Yeah, without like, elevating her.
And I think it's supposed to prove that maybe Jada is soft and needs to like... It's all a facade.
Train under Natty.
It's all a facade that she's this hard woman.
I'm sorry. They're not making a good case for Natty when her pupils are Carmen Petrovich.
She's going to coach him up. You just wait. In a month, they're going to be like
Death Rider level killers.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Okay.
So we get a bunch of the new English people backstage. Angels considers himself Mr. NXT. He has the sash because remember when he lost to Hill,
beat him up, yeah.
He beat the hell out of him. And so that's kind of funny because that's how real pageants, they even say that, like, should the winner not be able to perform their duties, you will become Miss America, whatever. So he's like, he can't perform his duties, so I'm Mr. NXT.
All right.
Rourke is there. Wrong two in my notes. That's embarrassing. He takes exception to
Former
Angels.
English teacher.
Obviously, Angels will get an Evolve title shot.
Yay!
And Izzy and Mason Rook want Rourke to kick Angel's ass. So I don't like Mason Rook being in an unserious segment like this. They've kind of presented him. He's like a babyface ass kisser, and now he's in like kind of
ass kicker.
Kicker. So now he's a widowmaker. So now he's sort of in like this silly little segment. I get it fits.
Maybe you got to show he's got range. I don't know.
It fits Izzy Rain and it fits Angels. I don't love it for Rook right now.
Izzy Rain,
Izzy Dame, Izzy Rain, Lizzie Rain.
Lizzie Rain. So I was like, Izzy Dame is the
Lizzie Rain and Izzy Dame.
Okay.
It's just that's just
okay.
cruel.
That's fair. I'll concede that. I was just like it. I just occurred to me. I was like, that's not something, but that's not right to me.
They should be a tag team. It's only a matter of time for like Rain Dame is a tag team.
Okay.
Ariana Grace beat Layla Diggs in a speed tournament match that no one could possibly care about. Diggs dominates. She's athletic. She moonsaults.
Dominates for how long? It's like 3 minutes.
She moonsaults onto the rest of Birthright on the floor. Gets caught in an inside cradle as she gets back in the ring as Ariana Grace is playing possum. So super athletic babyface outsmarted by a heel. I will say Diggs looks kind of stupid with the finish, but I guess the point is like she's naive and she's got to learn, and she got cheated out of a match.
I guess so.
A very important speed tournament match here. Sean Legacy, DVD, Noam Dar, and Moreno are backstage. Dar is very complimentary of Moreno, and he says that thanks to Romero's persistence about them tagging together, Dar feels like he may have found his partner. Like, I think he was kind of saying like Nathan Frazier felt when he found Axiom. Like, this is kind of my guy now. So Legacy is speaking about teaming up with Van Dukes.
DVD.
And they notice the culling backstage, so DVD suggests they go and face off against the culling. They're going to go talk to GM Stone to set it up. The segment was fine, nothing wrong, and I'm just excited. These are two really fun tag teams at the same time that are just sort of forming. But here's my fear. With the crazy pace that these teams work, are we...
Speed tag titles?
Yes. Is there any danger of a speed tag title?
If they make speed tag titles, I'm going to laugh
We might be
so
to blame
hard.
if they do now.
You might be to blame.
So that was my thought. Like, what?
That'd be terrible, because imagine like you can only have like a 3-5 minute match.
Right.
But you also have to like tag in it
I
all
would
the
really
time.
love to watch these guys wrestle, but I feel like they'll do something to take that away from
And then
me.
Fraxium, we're going to be like, yo, we want some of that.
Right.
No,
So-
I don't think so, because they
I
don't have
don't
enough
either.
tag teams.
But maybe...
Not because they wouldn't do it, but because they don't have enough tag
And
teams.
I would hope it'd be like 5 minutes, not 3, when there's 2 guys. But anyway.
It's a stupid idea, so who knows?
More Tate Wilder taking risks. He's winless, but he's been close a couple times. He's going to strap it up and see where this ride takes him. Sure.
That's a great promo.
We then get a Saquon Sugars vignette, and part of it was awesome and part of it wasn't. He grew up in DC, grew up tough, got into wrestling. The version is that I don't mind is he joined Dark State because Dark State needed him. As 3 athletes and not wrestlers, They needed
Which
his
is the version of this that would make sense.
they needed his knowledge and experience to figure out the wrestling business to sort of fast track.
I would argue they still need it
to fast track their careers, which makes sense.
Yeah.
But then he said it was the biggest mistake of his life, and no one wrestles like him. At Great American Bash, he'll show Dion Lennox he's up next, and Lennox is up never. So again,
Wow.
I think Sugars is really good on the mic, and he's by far the most interesting of the group. But there were a couple cheesy bits in there as well.
I like that last line.
So I hope he can get through Dion Lennox and distance himself from Dark Stakes. I'd like to see him away from them because he is kind of cool, actually. And
a wrestler.
An indie guy, an actual wrestler. So I'd like to see him, a bit more of him. Main event was a very good tag match. It is Kalani and Zarya taking on Lola Vice and Kendall Gray. Very good back and forth action. Paxley, I guess, isn't gone because she shows up in the...
I know. I didn't mention it to you because I wanted you to obviously see it. But
shows up in the crowd to kind of spook Zarya, who ends up getting hit by the Lola Vice back fist for the babyface win after 14. Another, like, cheesy finish that, like, it's just... I guess you're protecting people or whatever, but people end up looking kind of dumb, like Zarya just stopping wrestling to look at somebody who she just wrestled last week like it's a freaking ghost. Right? Like, oh my God, somebody that I have beef with has shown up.
Right, because if we weren't, it's like, because her goodbye, whatever that she might have done,
wasn't
not in
canon.
kayfabe. So if on the surface in canon, in kayfabe, it's like, oh, she just showed up the week after.
So it was two women looking really stupid in their matches getting pinned, basically. So after the match, Paxley dives onto Zarya on the floor. In the ring, Kendall Gray, I think it was Kalani, grabbed Vice's title, and as Gray went to rip it out of her hands, she ended up hitting Vice in the head. And if you remember, Lola took out Gray with the back fist by accident. So now, even though it's babyface at the bash, they've each sort of taken each other out accidentally. So I think that's what we're looking at there. Pretty good show. I would like to really praise NXT for something they do better than AEW, and that is
women's.
The treatment of the women's division. The women basically get the same amount of TV, if not more, on some episodes. And this is my description. And I think it's fair, and it's something AEW can do better. NXT feels like it's a men's and women's wrestling show, whereas AEW feels like it's a men's wrestling show that they tack some women's stuff on it, right? Like, it feels like they have to apply effort to get women on
I feel like they need to have someone dedicated to the women's division.
Like, this is a 2-hour show, and they find so much time for women. They're up. To be fair, the women's division is by far the best thing going for them. So
and
I think
granted, that's the one thing with AEW is I would say with NXT, like you were saying, is the men's division, especially the top, isn't that interesting. Whereas
not.
The men's in AEW
is very
too interesting.
Yes.
So like that was my thing. It's like I do think there should be more women on the show, but at the same time, at the expense of a lot of the guys I like, it's like I do to some extent understand why there's not a lot of women on there.
Again, I'll say it again.
Now,
Collision becomes women and tag teams mostly.
I don't want tag teams to stay there, but
not just there. But I'm saying like that's where they get
presence. Sure.
That's where they get built, and we get backstory and feuds starting there, and then they bring it over to the.
Then
Dynamite.
You gotta keep up with Collision.
But anyways, so yeah, I thought there was some good stuff on NXT this week, and again, the way they balance out the women's and men's is a much better than AEW. That's all I have. Anything else? SmackDown has not happened yet, so.
And I wouldn't care if it did.
No, we would not. So that's going to wrap up episode 309. Appreciate you taking time out of your week to listen to us ramble about some wrestling. We will be back. Oh, go check out Worst Of.
It is real. We did do it.
It is there. It does exist. So go check that out.
It's my biggest work.
Come back next Saturday. Bring some friends to listen. And until then, everybody, take care.